Hi, it's Paul, and today we are talking about my Ryobi battery drill, hammer drill. It is a Ryobi LLCD 1802. So let's get it on the bench and let's have a look. So here is the Ryobi LLCDI 1802 hammer drill. I've had this for probably the best part of, I should think, 5 or 6 years, possibly even longer, and it is probably the most used, well, it's undoubtedly the most used power tool that I have. 100% it gets used constantly as an over-emotive word, but with every project I do, this gets another pasting, as we say in the UK. This really does get some abuse. I have to say, I also have a Makita, very, very old Makita, that I bought a long time ago. This was consigned to the scrap because it died on me. Then I had a chance to buy a cheap battery for it on, I forget where it was, eBay or Amazon. Charged up the battery just to see how it would go, and this works well. But this isn't a drill, this isn't a hammer drill, this is just a drill. So this one, drill driver, it has straightforward drilling or screw driving function. It has a hammer function, and in the middle here, if I turn the power on, it has a proper screw driving function where it has a variable resistance, so that you can set it and drive the screws in to the tension that you want, and hopefully not drive them in too far. So that is useful-ish. I'd be honest, I don't use it a lot. If you use a drill as a drill driver a lot, you get used to, because I've got a variable trigger, you get used to the amount of pressure you need to put on and the amount of power you need to put in to drive a screw in. So I can't say I use the actual driving function a lot and the variable resistance, but a lot of people like it, so I'm not going to knock it. The hammer drill function of it, it works perfectly adequately, as well as any other battery powered hammer drill that I've possessed. The disadvantage with hammer drills as opposed to the SDS type percussion drills is they don't drill in hard materials as well. So these don't cope generally on hard materials like concrete or engineering brick. They don't do as well as a hammer drill. That said, it's more than capable. If it's all that you can afford as a first tool, then I've got to be honest, this is what I'd get. Chuck on it's quite good. I use the QD connections a lot, so I have the quick adapter chuck, so I can just take the bits out and put them back in, or I can put drill bits in, or whatever I want. So that is very useful. Other than that, outside of that, not a huge amount to say. You can put it in reverse or forward. I always run it with the smallest 1.3 amp hour battery, and it runs like a train. It's got some poke on it. Is it as good as a professional one, whatever you want to class as a professional one? Maybe a DeWalt, maybe a Makita, God forbid a Festool. At 5 times the price. Nothing against Festols, I'd love to be able to afford that sort of kit, but it's way out of my reach. Is it as good as something like that? Well, possibly not, but I mean, you look at the state of this, and this has really had a pounding over the years. It's been thrown around, it's been dropped, it's been left out in the rain, it's had all sorts of abuse and misuse heaps on it. I've run drills that are way too big on it. I've done things that it really shouldn't do, and it still powers up and works perfectly. So again, in terms of my ending of any review video, would I buy another one? Yes, without hesitation at all, instantly. If this one failed on me, then I'd be straight out and buy another one, happily buy another Ryobi One Plus. If you buy the current one, which I'll put an Amazon link to, you actually get a nice little LED light on it, and it's actually got a better chuck. My son has one, and I have tool envy on his one. The chuck is sort of, it clicks and ratchets down better. I have no better explanation for it, but it holds the drills a lot tighter. The one thing I will say, especially if you use this on hammer drill with a normal drill bit, it can tend to loosen up as it's hammering, and I've never had that happen on my son's drill. And it is just a newer model, so this is quite an old model. You won't get this one, I don't think, anymore. So the link that I'll put in Amazon in the description below will be to the newer model one. But would I recommend it? Yes, 100% I would. Would it be the first tool I would buy if I was starting all over again? Yes, 100% it would be. If I was going to buy anything, I would buy a new drill. Both of my sons have drills. One has a Ryobi, I think the other has an Erbauer. Nothing's a fault on the Erbauer. I just, if you like, signed up for the Ryobi system. You have to choose a system. If you're going to go with cordless tools, you kind of have to choose a system, or have 15 different battery chargers and 15 different batteries. I went for Ryobi because the pricing point is good, balanced against all the competitors, and I'm more than happy with my choice. So there you go. Ryobi One Plus LLCDI 1802 drill driver, hammer drill driver. Old man with rating 10 out of 10. If I could give it 11 out of 10, I would do. Okay, thanks for watching. As always, if you've liked this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. But more importantly, if you've got any comments, please put them in the comments box below. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.